I'm rebuilding the UCF Knights and College Football 25 because David Duncan is awesome. Commented on a previous video to rebuild UCF. I can't seem to keep good recruiting classes constantly with a sad face. I will be using the current head coach on the team. Looks like UCF is coming off of a 6-7 record in 2023, signing a 5-year deal. I'm not sure how many years this is going to go for. I did not turn off Coach firing, so if we get fired, it'll end then. But we're going to try to win a championship and get some good recruiting classes. Looking at the current roster, the two best players on the team are both running backs. We got a 5th-year senior RJ Harvey and then a senior Penny Boone. Harvey's 91 and Boone is 90 overall. We also have a quarterback, 3rd highest player on the team, KJ Jefferson. He's a redshirt senior, 87 overall. And even the 4th highest player on the team is another running back. So we're loaded at running backs, 86 overall, Johnny Richardson Jr. So this should definitely be like a run heavy scheme. I would assume that would be the ideal way to try to utilize these best players that we have available. They're all gonna be gone after this year though. I did go through and basically redshirt every single freshman. So there's not gonna be any true freshmen playing right now. I'm setting up my recruiting board and I'm looking at my team needs, and we need 13 offensive linemen. That's the most I've ever seen as far as team needs just for offensive linemen. We have basically all seniors that are going to be leaving us, so that's pretty crazy. I never seen that before. We're currently in week preseason. I got my scouting set up. I got 35 targets. I added all the highest star players I possibly could, as many 5 stars, and then supplemented it with 4 stars according to my team needs. And I recruited as many, or not recruited, I scouted as many players as I possibly could and left enough points to where I could give everyone a scholarship. I do still have 5 hours left that you cannot do anything with. That tends to happen to me a lot, but we have some guys that are some gems, and we'll be trying to get as many 5 stars and 4-star players as we can. I've simulated ahead to week 1. We're about to have our first game against an FCS opponent. As you can see in the top right at targets, we only have 20 of the 35 because a ton of guys have locked us out. I removed all of them. We have all our hours allocated at the moment, but I'm going to show you we're going after a bunch of 5-star guys and some 4 stars. We are first on this running back, Alfonso Avery. He's a 5-star, number 4 at his position. We're also first on this 5-star wide receiver, Alex Massey. We actually gained a lot of influence on him. Nobody's sending him a scholarship offer, even though he's a number 1 ranked prospect at his position, number 19 in the nation. That's crazy. He's not getting anybody else going after him. I mean, I have him 100% scouted. He's not a gem or a bust. He's 6'3", 217 pounds. He still has 91 speed with 97 jumping. Kind of reminds me of Dez Bryant, to be honest, from the Cowboys. We are first on this 4-star tight end. This guy, Eric Tinker, he is a gem, and a lot of other teams know that, so they're going after him hardcore. I think I'm just going to go ahead and let it ride for another week, but we're going to have to watch that. We might have to take him off the board if we can't gain on these other schools. This right tackle, Matt Calvin, we actually gained a lot, so I like that. We're going to keep going up. We're only 6th right now, but we should be probably top 1 or 2 after this week, I would assume. Now this guy, Bullocks, we are 3rd, and we didn't get very much influence at all. I'm going to let it ride one more week, and we'll see. We're going to do that with a lot of these guys. Everyone else we're pretty much gaining a good amount on. Here's another guy we have to be worried about, Hakeem Hogue, a 5-star athlete, run-stopping linebacker. Once again, I'm going to let it ride for 1 week. We're actually gaining on Georgia here, so I'm going to keep that. We're in week 3 of the season. We won our first 2 games. Like I said, we beat FCS East 31-10. We beat Sam Houston 33-21. We have a pretty tough game coming up against TCU. Let's check in with the recruiting real quick. We're still going after the exact same players. We're down to 17 targets because we had 3 more guys lock us out. Still first on Avery and Massey by a mile. And Florida jumped ahead of us, and they gained a lot on this tight end. I'm going to let it ride for 1 more week. I'm doing the maximum hours I can on all these players, which is only 50. So I guess that this coach isn't that good at recruiting. Definitely going to have to level that up. We're 2nd on Tinker at right tackle. Still gaining on Texas. We're first on a lot of these guys though. We're 3rd on Bullocks. We're going to keep letting it ride. But we're sitting pretty good. This recruiting right here against Hakeem Hogue is looking like it's going to be pretty competitive. But it looks like we're gaining the most each week at this point, and we're ahead a lot on this strong safety, Kevin Suwiza. How do you pronounce that? We did beat TCU 26-21 in a close game. We're starting off the season 3-0. That's really good for sure. Check out our recruiting real quick. So for some reason we're being locked out on this running back who's number 4 at this position for playing style. So I guess it has to do with the playbook. So I'm gonna go ahead and look at the playbook. I think that we have like a spread offense. I'm gonna have to switch it to like a pro style or something to do with running, see if that helps with that. But everyone else, we're still looking pretty good. We're first or second in most of these guys. Wisconsin looks like they're running away with this one pretty good, but I'm gonna let it ride one more time. I'm not really a fan of scheduling visits. I like to just max out the points and go with it. We're looking really good on the center and this center. We need like 13 offensive linemen, so that's really good. And we're first on Quincy Haddad, 5-star defensive tackle. He's number 4 at his position. That's good to see. And then Hogue, we're sticking in there. I'm gonna keep letting it ride for now. Still first on this strong safety. We got locked out by Lane. I'm gonna go ahead and remove him. I like to leave these other guys on here in case we end up getting locked out by one of these guys or we lose to them. Already offered these guys scholarships, so I don't take them off until we get locked out. I switched the playbook from the spread to a pro style offense, and it went from a D+ to a C-, and we still got to have a B- for this guy. So it looks like we're not gonna be able to get him regardless. I'm gonna go ahead and remove him off the board. We're gonna have 50 more hours to spend on someone else, and freaking Miami's coming out of nowhere to try to steal Devontae Merriman, the tight end. So I'm just gonna have to keep letting it ride for now. Texas, it looks like they're easing up on Tinker because they scheduled a visit. I'm just gonna keep going with the 50 on them. And freaking Penn State blowing us away on Bulldogs. Love to see that. And like all these freaking schools coming in at the last minute, like, hey, we want you to come here, Florida State. Get off my nuts, man. All right, I'm gonna keep letting all these guys ride unless, well, maybe Hakeem Hogue. It looks like we're not gonna get him, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove him. Still in first on Souza, and then we have 100 points we need to use on some guys. We got locked out on that guy, so I'm gonna come through here, probably try to go after this defensive end because only the Army's going after him. So I'm gonna try to use these other 100 hours. We suffered our first loss of the season to Colorado, who was 2-2, and now they're 3-2. Puts us at 3-1. We lost 27-21. See what happened here. Shedeur Sanders had a pretty good game, it looks like. Our quarterback Jefferson, a 146 rating, 293 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. We had basically no running game. 2.6 per carry, 4.6 per carry is not bad. Wide receiver had a 30-yard run. Yeah, it looks like we need to try to run it more because we have a 3-headed monster at running back. We're taking our biggest losses on recruiting this week. We ended up losing Merriman to the University of Miami. We lost Tinker to Texas, and we lost Bullocks to Penn State. They came like out of nowhere, and all of a sudden they're like, yep, he's coming here. Might as well back off. Thanks a lot, appreciate that. But other than that, we are still in first on Massey. Nobody's even offering him anything, man. I don't understand that whenever he's the best receiver in the country. Yeah, he's not a gem, but he's not a bust. All right, cool. We'll take him. Still looking good here. Georgia's coming on strong right now, though. We do have 150 hours, so I could consider doing a visit. Should I do that? I'm not sure yet. I'll think about it. Still in first place on all these other guys. All right, so I did add 50 points to this center, and we gained a lot. This is a guy we were not putting any hours towards at all, but since we had 100 hours last week, added it to him and also added it to this guy that only the Army was going after. So we gained a lot on that. We have 150 hours. I might go after this defensive end because it looks like these other teams all just offer him a scholarship, but nobody's actually going after him. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drop 50 on him, which is the most we can do. We really need to upgrade that, and then I'm gonna use these other 100 hours, and we'll see what happens next week. We've now lost 2 games in a row. We lost to Florida 41-17. Graham Mertz is our quarterback. I don't know who that guy is. 186 rating with 4 touchdowns. Our quarterback KJ Jefferson only a 130 rating with 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. 59% completions, not looking good. RV 9 carries, 36 yards. Hudson had 6 catches, 64 yards, and a touchdown. Go check out the recruiting. One thing I did do last week before I simulated this week was go through and hard sell as many players as I possibly could. Since we actually knew enough information, there were some players that I didn't know enough about yet to know for sure what the right pitch was. So we're looking really good on Massey. I ended up scheduling a visit for Matt Calvin because we had some hours available for that. So we're looking good over OU. I did schedule a visit for Deshaun Gaskin since we have Florida State and Georgia coming in hard. Let's see if that helps. And I did switch one to a hard sell, so we're gonna go another week on that. Holiday, we're looking good. Escobar, LSU's gaining pretty good. I might need to schedule a visit for Escobar. Haddad, we're looking good. I do want to schedule a visit for him since the University of Miami is coming at him. And can we send the house on, or can we pitch him yet? Let's look. Last time I looked, there was still the potential to have 2 different pitches. And I don't like to guess because if you get it wrong, it takes away a lot. So it could be Hometown Hero, and it cannot be that. Is there anything else that it could be? Nope. So it's Hometown Hero. We know that for sure. That'll help us gain some on some of these other schools. I'm also gonna go ahead and bring him in for a visit on as soon as possible. He likes proximity to home, and we have an A in that. Definitely doing that. And Georgia's coming in strong here. Can we hard sell him yet? Last time I couldn't. Might be able to this time. Not that. It could be aspirational, or it could also be team player, so we still don't know for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and schedule a visit for this guy too, first week that we can, to try to make sure that we keep our edge. He likes proximity to home. We got 5 hours left. Looking good on this guy. DeLong, we actually gained a lot on him because we just recently added him. 5-star Sua DeLong, defensive end. We're second to Army, but we're gaining on this guy. And then I had 15 hours left the last time, so I just put him on this guy. I don't think that there's an option to do 20. So we're just gonna have to stick with 15, and I'm gonna have to go spend 5 more hours on someone else. We've officially got our first commit of the rebuild. It's gonna be right guard Deshaun Gaskin, 4-star from Baconton, Georgia. Baconton, Georgia. How do you pronounce that? No idea. We also got our first Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week. It is defensive tackle Ricky Barber. He's a senior. He had 1 sack, 3 tackles, and 1 tackle for loss. We beat Cincinnati 42-20, scoring the most points so far in 1 game in the rebuild. KJ Jefferson had a 241 rating. Wow, look at that. 336 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, 69% completion. It's crazy because I just changed the offensive playbook to Nebraska to try to run the ball more because we have 3 awesome running backs on the team, and the first thing they do with that playbook is throw a crap load of passing touchdowns. RB 13 carries, 77 yards. Boone only 3 for 8, 1 touchdown. So supposed to be a run heavy playbook, but they're throwing it like crazy. Xavier Townsend, the junior wide receiver, had 5 catches, 155 yards with 2 touchdowns. That's crazy. Simulated to the next week. I did not show the recruiting because nothing really happened, but we did lose to Iowa State 51-48 in a freaking shootout. Let's see what the stats are looking like on this one. KJ Jefferson had a 163 rating, 210 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not bad. Russian Harvey had a game. 14 carries, 129 yards, 9 yards per carry with no touchdowns. KJ Jefferson, the quarterback, 14 carries, 72 yards, 5.1 per carry with 1 touchdown. And then Boone had 3 carries for 34 yards. Townsend had 4 catches for 3 touchdowns. We actually ended up earning some coach points, so let's go try to upgrade the scouting. Took forever because this coach is already at level 34, and it looks like he pretty much evens out all of his stuff, but we're gonna go heavy on recruiting. Let's see. Let's increase O-line. Let's increase running back. Looks like we got more bad news on recruiting. We lost Matt Calvin to OU. And we lost freaking Haddad to Florida, man. Come on. Lose anybody else? No, okay. Still looking really good on Massey. No one else is even trying to go after him, which is still blows my mind since he's a #1 receiver. We do have the ability to add more hours to offensive linemen. Man, why did I do running back? We're not even going after any running backs. That was pretty stupid. All right, I'm gonna add more hours to this guy for sure, and to this guy. This strong safety, Georgia's coming out of nowhere and just trying to take him away from us. I did schedule a visit for him, so hopefully that will help us, but it's not looking good. We ended up getting the 5-star wide receiver, the #1 best wide receiver in the country, Alec Massey from Hobart, Indiana. Can't believe no one else even wanted him. We also get a 4-star center, Raymond Holiday from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We got another 4-star center, Manu Escobar from Grand Prairie, Texas. We actually ended up blowing out BYU 45-9. That is awesome. Let's see. We got Jefferson, 145 rating, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. RV, 20 carries, 111 yards, but the dude gets no touchdowns. Jefferson had 1 touchdown. So the backup running back only had 5 carries, but he had 3 touchdowns. So it looks like RV was doing all the hard work to get him into the red zone, and then Penny Boom was like, yo, let me get in there and power these in for the tutties and get 3 of them. That's kind of messed up, but hey, if we win, we win. Tight end Pittman had 5 catches, 66 yards, 1 touchdown, the most on the team. He's only a sophomore. This is the time of year whenever stuff starts going crazy, because we just got a bunch of recruits that committed. We lost that 5-star safety to Georgia. A-holes. I'm gonna take them off. So now we're gonna have a lot of recruiting hours. We got 235 available. We're on a 2-game win streak. We beat Arizona 41-31 in kind of a close game. KJ Jefferson had a really good game, 199 rating, 328 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 71% completion. RV finally got him a touchdown, 21 carries, 103 yards, 4.9 per carry. Receiving, Javarius Johnson, the senior, had 7 catches, 141 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the longest was 70 yards. Did have 1 drop. Townsend had 2 drops. Hudson had 2 drops. Man, these guys are dropping the ball like crazy. What the hell? We're officially on a 3-game win streak. We just barely beat Arizona State 31-28, and they are 2-7 on the year, so that's really not good that we barely beat them. But the polls like it. We're actually ranked 25th. First time ever being ranked in the rebuild so far. Look at the stats. What do we got going on here? Jefferson did not have a good game. 126 rating, 162 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, only 59% completion. He did have a lot of rushing yards though. He had 13 carries, 108 yards, 1 touchdown. His longest run was 65 yards as a quarterback. RV had 15 carries for 79 yards, 5.3 per carry with no touchdowns. And then a wide receiver actually had a rushing touchdown, Xavier Townsend. Townsend also had 5 catches, 54 yards, and a tutty. We just beat West Virginia 56-24. We are 8-3 on the season, and we are ranked number 15. It looks like we have a pretty good chance of going to the college football playoffs, but we do have to beat 9-2 Utah. Let's see what happened to stats in this West Virginia game. KJ Jefferson might have had the best game of his career. 245 rating, 230 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions. 90% completion. Dude completed 19 out of 20 freaking 1. RV had a game, the best game of his career so far. 17 carries, 144 yards, 3 touchdowns, 8.5 per carry. Dude had 99 yards after contact. He was out here breaking tackles, 6 broken tackles. He had 2 20+ yard runs, and a 62-yarder was the longest. And then the backup running back, Penny Boone, 8 carries, 109 yards, 1 touchdown. He had a 66-yarder, 80 yards after contact. Xavier Townsend had a touchdown catch. Javarius Johnson had 2 touchdown catches. And also, Jacoby Jones had 1 touchdown catch. Unfortunately, we lost a very close game to Utah, 34-31. So we were finishing the regular season 8-4. We're not ranked anymore, freaking Utah. KJ Jefferson, 169 rating, 260 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He got sacked 3 times, 67% completion. RJ Harvey had a great game, 15 carries, 158 yards with 2 touchdowns. 115 yards after contact with 55 was the longest run that he had. Townsend had 4 for 80. Let's see, Pittman had a touchdown and Hudson had a touchdown. We got us a 4-star running back, Lonzo Underwood from Jacksonville, Florida, which is really good because we have like 3 running backs that are going to be graduating this year. This is just mind-blowing. I've definitely never seen this in this game before. Texas State University's quarterback, Jordan McLeod, won the Heisman Trophy. 3,500 yards passing with 50 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. What the hell? We did make it to a bowl game against Colorado State. It's going to be the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. It's early National Signing Day, and we have the 92nd ranked recruiting class in the country, which is terrible. We only have 5 players, that's why, but we have really quality players. We got a 5-star wide receiver, the best wide receiver in the country, and we have 4 4-stars. But we're definitely going to be supplementing the rest of the team needs with as many 4 and 3 stars as we can get. We completely blew out Colorado State 45-7. Love to see that. Jefferson had a 177 rating, 285 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, only 1 interception. 60% completion is really kind of low. Harvey had 16 carries, 67 yards, no touchdowns. The quarterback Jefferson, 58 yards rushing with the touchdown. Penny Boone had 1 touchdown. Javarius Johnson, 7 catches, 176 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dude had a 75-yard bomb. He still had 1 drop though. Pittman had a touchdown and Jones had a touchdown. With that being the end of the season, it's time to check out the stats because we're not going to play any more games. The redshirt senior KJ Jefferson had 3,200 yards passing, 36 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. That's a great ratio. 67% completion with a 168 rating. Really not a bad season from the senior that's graduating. RJ Harvey had an amazing season despite like half the games he didn't score a touchdown in. 187 carries, 1,100 yards, 6.2 per carry, 10 touchdowns. That's pretty damn good. He's at 91 overall, so he's definitely going to be getting drafted probably in the 1st or 2nd round, maybe 3rd round. KJ Jefferson, the quarterback, also had 100 carries, 485 yards, 5 touchdowns. Penny Boone only had 255 yards, but he did have 7 touchdowns. He ended up stealing a lot of touchdowns from Harvey, in my opinion. Receiving, Townsend had 800 yards with 13 touchdowns. Nice. Hudson had 700 yards with 3 touchdowns, and Javarius Johnson had 700 yards with 11 touchdowns. The sophomore tight end Randy Pittman, almost 500 yards with 6 touchdowns. Defensively, Ethan Barr, the redshirt senior, had 68 tackles, the most on the team. Lee Hunter, he's a redshirt junior at defensive tackle. He's an 86 overall, so he might be back next year, but it looks like he has a deal breaker for pro potential. And I guess we're not reaching his score right now, so he might be transferring out. That's not good. Most sacks on the team, Malachi Lawrence, 8.5. He's a redshirt junior. It looks like he's gonna want to transfer out too. That's not looking good. Only had 2 guys with interceptions. A senior cornerback, Brandon Adams, 84 overall, had 3. And then a senior strong safety, Brian Threats, with 80 overall, had 2. I like that last name, Threats. Looking at the college football playoff bracket for 2024, Texas State actually went 14-2 on the year, and they're ranked number 17 in the country. They ended up beating Oklahoma, who was number 2, and they also beat Cincinnati, who was number 14, but they lose to Texas A&M 34-27. Ohio State wins the championship 35-21 over Texas A&M. I'm bringing up Texas State because their quarterback, if you missed it, won the Heisman Trophy with 50 touchdowns passing. To my surprise, we actually don't have anyone that wants to transfer out, but we are losing a lot of our best players. Running back RJ Harvey, 91 overall, projected to go in the 3rd round of the draft. And then Penny Boone, the backup running back, really didn't get very many carries, but he still scored like 7 touchdowns, projected to go in the 6th round. And then KJ Jefferson, the quarterback, projected to go in the 7th round, so that's good. Looks like we're losing. I think we're actually going to end up losing in most of our offensive linemen that were starters. Knight was an 85, Medley was an 81, Brooks was a 78, Marshall was a 78, and Dorsey was a 74. I think that they were all starting, to be honest, so we're gonna have a whole new offensive lineman. But we did have 3 guys get drafted. Harvey went in the 3rd round, Boone went in the 5th round, and Jefferson went in the 6th round. Looking at the transfer portal, we only have 3-star guys that are interested in 2 stars. We don't have any 4 or 5-star guys that want to come over. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna target only 3-star guys that are sophomores or lower, so like freshmen or sophomores. I don't want any older guys on the team. I really want to try to build through recruiting at this point in the rebuild. There's a freshman, 3-star, and a sophomore. I think all these other guys are all just 2-star. Yeah. At this point of recruiting, I'm not even worrying about scouting guys. I'm just going to try to fill up the board and get as many potential players as we can to get on the team, and then go from there and try to get rid of the worst guys. But is that going to backfire? Most likely. But right now I'm just trying to get quantity, not quality. National signing day, we finished with the 23rd ranked recruiting class in the country, which is way better than, I think we were like 82nd. We got 28 players total, 1 5-star, 4 4-stars, and then 23 3-stars to supplement all the needs that we have on the team. Now we can actually see the dev traits on the players, and the #1 wide receiver in the country, Alex Massey, 5-star, that nobody wanted but us, actually has star dev, so joke's on them. Gaskin has star, Holiday has normal, Escobar is normal, star, impact, impact, star, impact, normal. Oh, this guy went to Georgia Tech. What is he doing on here? Dang, Rashawn Monroe, a fullback, has elite development trait. What the heck? I got him because we needed a fullback on the roster, especially if we're gonna be doing like Nebraska playbook. We're running the ball a lot. Turns, a quarterback only has normal impact. Most of these guys have normal. This guy went to Virginia Tech. This guy went to Ole Miss. This guy decided not to go anywhere, and this guy decided not to go anywhere. All right. And David Thrash has normal. I'm coming through here and doing position changes, and it looks like we're gonna have mostly all freshmen starting on offensive linemen. You know, this is before training, so we don't know for sure. Like Cox is a 69, but he could go up to 78 or something after training. But right now, Escobar is our starting left tackle, 74 overall, true freshman. We are gonna have a fifth-year senior at left guard, a 74. At center, we got a redshirt junior who's a 79. But at right guard, another freshman, Gaskins, a 75. And at right tackle, Raymond Ramon Holiday, 75 overall, true freshman. So that's 3 freshmen that could potentially be starting. We don't have enough players on the team to have to encourage transfers / cut players. Roster limit is 85. We got 78 players on the team, so we won't be cutting nobody. We have a ton of new starters this year since we have a new quarterback. Jakari Brown starting, 80 overall, redshirt junior. I'm redshirting a freshman, James Kearns. We have some decent backups here though. At running back, we had 3 seniors that graduated. Miles Montgomery's our new starter. He's at 83 overall, playing up to 85. He has 88 speed. This one running back, Lonzo Underwood, we got in the recruiting class. He's a true freshman. I'm redshirting him, but he's already a 76 overall, which technically is 74, playing up to 76. He has a lot of physical and mental abilities, but I'm going to redshirt him, and hopefully he can develop to where he can be the starter next year. But we have a couple of freshmen here. Got the freshman fullback in there. We got new wide receivers besides Xavier Townsend. He's coming back as a senior. He's the highest rated receiver on the team, playing up to 85. And then we have a bunch of redshirt freshmen that are getting their first playing time. And because of that, I'm going to go ahead and redshirt the #1 receiver coming out of the recruiter class, Alex Massey, the true freshman. He's a 78, playing up to 80 overall. I'm going to redshirt him, and then hopefully next year he might be the #1 receiver on the team. After training's over and stuff, maybe he can jump up to like 82, 83 or something. But right now it's going to be the Xavier Townsend show. At tight end, we still got Pittman, who's at 86. Offensive lineman, we have all new starters here. We got a redshirt freshman playing left tackle who is a 77. At left guard, we have a 50-year senior, 79 overall. At center, we have a redshirt junior, 81 overall. Right guard, true freshman Gaskin is going to be starting right away, 76 overall. And at right tackle, we have a true freshman, Ramon Holiday, 76 overall. So offensive lineman technically has, 3 freshmen playing on it, starting right away, even though this guy's a redshirt freshman. That's crazy. Defensive end, 84 overall, 80 overall. Defensive tackle, we have 87 overall, Lee Hunter, who is a redshirt senior. So he's going to be a 50-year guy. Outside linebacker, we have a redshirt freshman, 81 overall. He only has 79 speed, which is not good. The best linebacker we have is Andrew Harris. Middle linebacker, he's a junior, 84 overall. He has 88 speed, but he's only 210 pounds, so he's basically a safety playing middle linebacker. And then our other outside linebacker, yet again, probably a safety playing linebacker, 87 speed, but he's only 200 pounds, and he's only a 77 overall. Corners, not the greatest, but not terrible. We have 3 guys at least in 82 overall. Our safeties are really not looking good. We got a redshirt sophomore, 77 overall, and then a redshirt sophomore, 78 overall at strong safety. But the bright side of the team, our kicker, he's a senior, 99 kick power, and his name is Boomer, because he be booming them things, boy. That was pretty dumb. We're currently at week 1 of season 2. Check out the schedule real quick so we can see what we're working with. We got Kansas State, Liberty's ranked 23, FCS West, North Carolina, number 17, Cincinnati, Baylor, number 18, Oklahoma State, then BYU, Texas Tech, West Virginia, Houston, and Kansas. And as you saw, we were actually ranked 84 overall. We were 85 overall last season, so we went down a little bit, but we lost a ton of starters, which is expected in college. This is what the recruiting board's looking like. We have a quarterback that I have 100% scouted that I'm going after. It says he's an athlete, but he's a scrambling quarterback. Dude has 94 speed with 92 throw power. I'll tell you that I definitely want this dude on my team. He could be the quarterback of the future. And we have the number 2 ranked wide receiver in the nation. He is a gym 5-star. Got him 100% scouted. Dude has 98 speed, and we're first on this board. We have another gym wide receiver here I'm going after. He's a number 3 wide receiver, Nick Peterman, 5-star. It's not looking good, but I'm gonna let it ride right now. We're making good ground on Joe Higgins here. We gained a lot right there with 50 points on this 5-star defensive tackle. And then I'm going after pretty much all 5 stars, and I think there's a couple of 4 stars down here. But we're pretty much in really good contention for a lot of these guys, or we're ranked number 1 on them. We started off the season pretty bad. We're 0-2 right now. We lost to Kansas State 43-10, and then we lost to Liberty 24-16. We do have a pick-me-up game here against FCS West, but it wouldn't surprise me if we just had bad luck and lost to them too. We finally pick up our first win of the season against FCS West, which we should have won. 45-10 is a really good outcome. Obviously, Dylan Rizek at quarterback had a 228 rating, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Why is Dylan Rizek at the quarterback? What the hell? 79% completion. He's only a 73 overall. I could have swore we had a different quarterback. I'm gonna have to go check that out. Running back Montgomery, 13 carries, 50 yards, 2 touchdowns. Xavier Townsend had a game, 5 catches, 121 yards with 3 tutties. And then the freshman Kason Stokes had 6 for 82 with the touchdown. Defensively, Alexander led the team in tackles. Downs, Hunter, and Nixon all had sacks. And then Raekwon Fagans had 2 interceptions. The reason why we had a different quarterback starting is because Ja'Cory Brown has a torn labrum and he's out for 1 week. We also have a defensive end that's injured, so Brown will be back after this game. We got our first commitment of season 2. It's a running back, Alfonso Fox from Lakeland, Florida. He is a 4-star. Quick check-in on recruiting to do an update. We have a couple of guys that aren't happy that our championship contender grade dropped down to C+, so still in first on this quarterback and we're second on this receiver. I'm gonna leave them on the board because if we can win a game or 2, our grade should go up. We only need a B-, so if we get 1 win, then we should be right back in there. But a lot of other guys, we are in first place on pretty much everyone except for this guy. I did go ahead and schedule a visit for him since the University of Miami took a huge jump over top of us. He's a gym power rush and outside linebacker. We definitely need that on the team. Still in first place on everyone else though. And I'm also going to be bringing in a kicker and a punter. I meant to do that last year because both our kicker and punter were both seniors. I like to bring in a kicker and a punter whenever we have both of them as seniors. That way they can come in and redshirt whenever the seniors are playing their last year. Then the next year, these guys are going to be redshirt freshmen, so they get a little bit of experience under their belt. This season has really gone into the crapper. We lost against North Carolina 27-3, and then again to Cincinnati 31-28. We are 1-4 on the season, not looking good at all. That's definitely not helping our recruiting out at all. It looks like we're going to lose out on a couple of 5-star guys because our championship grade is just terrible. We are fighting pretty hard for Sammy Hurd, the 5-star wide receiver, second best in the nation. Still in first place on pretty much everyone else. We are struggling with this cornerback, Jonathan Cutler. I am scheduling visits for these players that we're fighting hard for, so hopefully that helps us out. Still in first place on these other guys, and I'm going after this quarterback, Rashawn Bayer, now instead. He's still open. He hasn't even reached his top 8 yet, so I'm going hard with 65 points since we got locked out of the other one because of our championship grade. This guy's deal breaker is proximity to home. That will not change. It's going to stay good with a B+. He needs a B-. And I added a center, Logan Burks, over here with the last 15 points I had available. We get a 5-star right tackle, Sean Ramsauer from Louisville, Kentucky. And we get a 4-star right tackle, Joaquin Siliga from Queen Creek, Arizona. We finally get another win. We beat Baylor 28-22. We're 2-4 on the season. Let's see what happened with the stats here. They got DJ Lagway at quarterback at Baylor. Okay. Our quarterback, Ja'Cory Brown, is back. He had a 179 rating, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions with an 81% completion. That's good to see. Colt Simon, the freshman running back, got a lot of carries, 19 for 66 with 1 touchdown. What happened to our other running back? He must have got hurt, man. It looks like we're just dealing with a ton of injuries. Kason Stokes, the freshman redshirt, 5 catches, 69 yards. The other redshirt freshman, Jordan Bridgewater, 4 catches, but he had 2 touchdowns. TJ Bullard had the most tackles with 8. Malachi Lawrence had 1 sack. And then Cedric Hawkins and Traquan Fagans had 1 interception. Despite getting the win, our championship contender grade is still only a C. It was a C-, but it looks like we're going to end up losing out on these guys. Well, at least this quarterback. We did lose out on Sammy Hurd, the 5-star wide receiver. And we also lost out on Nick Peterman, another 5-star wide receiver going to Ohio State. That's not good. Anyone else we lost out on? Jonathan Cutler, the cornerback. Gone. Somehow we managed to get another win. We upset ranked Oklahoma State 10-9. That's a crazy score if I ever seen one. Curry Brown, 118 rating, did not have a good game. 187 yards passing, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. He got sacked 3 times. Simon at running back had 52 yards. Brown had 47 with 1 touchdown. Kason Stokes, 5 for 73. Where is Xavier Townsend? 1 for 27. Dude's barely getting any targets. Defensively, Bullard had 10 tackles. Nice. Sacks. Nixon had 1 and Hunter had 1. And we had no interceptions. Another good thing about that win is that our championship contender grade is up to B-, so we can go back after this 5-star quarterback, Mike Ellington. So I'm definitely going to try to push hard for him because he's in the top 3. Miami and Clemson are looking pretty good above us, but we can go 65 points on them, and I'll go ahead and schedule a visit too. Might as well try really hard. We got another 5-star offensive lineman. It's center Nathan Best from McDonough, Georgia. Unfortunately, we lost out on the 5-star quarterback Mike Ellington to the University of freaking Miami. Somehow we managed to work our way back to a 500 team. We are 4-4 on the year after beating BYU 42-28. Check out the stats here. We had Curry Brown, 212 rating, 351 yards passing with 3 touchdowns. He did have 2 interceptions, but he had 81% completion, which is awesome. He also had 53 rushing yards. Montgomery is back from injury. He had 51 rushing yards, but both of them had terrible yards per average carry. So Montgomery 2 touchdowns and Brown had 1 also. Kason Stokes is looking legit. Dude had 7 catches, 192 yards with 2 touchdowns. Townsend had 5 for 65. Defensively, got any sacks over here? No. Interceptions. Fagans had 1 and Jackson had 1. We got another 5-star player. It's a defensive tackle, Jason Bauer from Midlothian, Virginia. End of the regular season, we finished 6-6, so we are a 500 team. Luckily, we got 2 wins at the end of the year because we were 4-6. Obviously, a down year. It's a rebuilding year. Nothing but up from here as long as we don't get fired. All the way in week 15, and we lose out on the 5-star athlete scrambling quarterback Rayshon Bayer. Goes to Georgia at the last second. Oh, float. I was in first place by a mile on this 4-star strong safety. Oregon wasn't even in the picture. All of a sudden, they came in the last 2 weeks and just swooped in and stole them from us. 2 years in a row, back-to-back, we're going to the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, this time against the Nevada Wolfpack. Early National Signing Day, we have the 30th best recruiting class so far with only 8 players. We got 3 5-stars and 5 4-stars. If you remember the first year, we were ranked like 89th at the Early National Signing Day, and then we jumped up to like 29th or 39th. I can't remember, one of those ones. But we're definitely doing a lot better at this point than we were last year. 2 years in a row, we won the bowl game. We beat Nevada 42-14 in a blowout. Curry Brown had 194 rating, 252 yards passing with 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 79% completion. He also had 78 rushing yards with 2 touchdowns. Miles Montgomery had 68 rushing yards with 2 touchdowns. Kason Stokes, 4 catches, 93 yards with 2 touchdowns. Dude is a beast as a redshirt freshman. No cap. Sacks, we got 2 from Lawrence, 1 from Downs, and 1 from Nixon. No interceptions. Time to look at the season stats since we're officially done with the season. Curry Brown had 2,100 yards passing, 15 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. That's not really a good ratio at all. 67% completion with a 160 rating. And then Dylan Rizek had to come in for a couple of games, 800 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions with a 139 rating. Rushing, Montgomery, 147 carries, 600 yards, 11 touchdowns. That's really good with the touchdown percentage. Brown had 500 yards rushing with 5 touchdowns. Receiving, the freshman redshirt Kason Stokes, almost 1,000 yards. Dude was 7 yards short. 16 yards per catch with 6 touchdowns. Townsend had 483 yards with 3 touchdowns. And then tight end Randy Pittman, 480 yards with 2 touchdowns. Bridgewater had 5 touchdowns. Defensively, Alexander had the most tackles with 77. Lawrence had 7 tackles for loss and 7 sacks, the most on the team. The freshman redshirt defensive tackle Marcus Downs had 5 sacks, second on the team. Interceptions, Raekwon Fagans had 4. Jackson had 2. Henderson had 2. Hopkins, Alexander, Harris, and Ford all had 1 interception. 2025 college football playoff bracket. Oregon beats Iowa State 44-27 to become the champs. We have one player that's transferring now. It's a 74 overall tight end, Grant Stevens. I tried to get him to stay, but he was like, nope, so peace out on him. We're graduating a starting defensive tackle, 86 overall. Our kicker is gone, along with our punter way down here. We're also losing Lawrence, who led the team in sacks and tackles for loss. Montgomery was our #1 running back. He's gone. Townsend was the highest overall rated wide receiver that we had. And Smith at left guard was our starter. He's gone. A lot more turnaround once again. We actually had one player get drafted, and it's that defensive tackle Lee Hunter. He went in the 6th round. Looking at the transfer portal, we actually have a few 4-star guys that want to come to the team, and they're all cornerbacks. We don't really need a lot of cornerbacks, but I will go ahead and go after this guy because he's a freshman 4-star and we're first on his list. Definitely going after him, and probably going after this freshman running back because we do have a need there. The rest of these guys I'm not interested in. There's nothing but 2 stars down here. Oh, there's a 3-star center right here. He's a sophomore. All right, I'll go after him too. National Signing Day, we finished with the 11th ranked class in the nation. I say that's probably pretty good. We got 24 total players, 3 5-stars, 5 4-stars, and 16 3-stars. Let's check out the dev traits for these guys. We got 5-star right tackle. We have star dev. This 5-star offensive lineman has elite dev trait. Nice. Impact, star, impact, normal, star, impact, normal, star, normal, impact, star, impact, normal. Adrian Vick, impact, star for this power running back, and impact for a scrambling quarterback. We're at the beginning of season 3. I got my depth chart set. We're going with Jakari Brown at quarterback for his 5th year senior. 84 overall. He has 90 speed with 94 throw power. At running back, we got a redshirt freshman starting, 81 overall. Dude is a power back. He's 6'1", 231 pounds, but he has 94 speed. Definitely expect a big season from him. At wide receiver, we got Stokes. Kason Stokes, he was going crazy as a redshirt freshman. He's up to an 84 overall, playing up to an 85. He has 94 speed. And then Alex Massey, he's the 5-star wide receiver. He was the #1 wide receiver in the class last year. We redshirted him. Now he's up to an 83 overall. Got 91 speed. I'm making him the 3rd string receiver over top of Fox because he only has 86 speed and he's 84 overall, so it's not that much of a difference. I'm also going to be putting Massey in the slot so that way he can try to get the most amount of targets as possible. Dude should be going crazy. At tight end, we have Pittman. He's up to 88 overall. And then we have a freshman that's already at 86 overall, but he's a blocking guy, so his speed's only 74. Offensive line is like completely revamped at this point. We got a redshirt freshman starting at left tackle, was 80 overall. 85 sophomore at left guard. 84 junior at center. 81 at right guard. And 80 at right tackle. So the offensive line is definitely getting better. Johnson's 85 at defensive end, 84 for Nixon at the other defensive end spot. Marcus Downs at defensive tackle was a redshirt sophomore. Dude is an 86 overall. Outside linebacker Byron Worrell, he's already a 90 overall. What? Hold on, it says that he's technically an 80 overall, but it says he's playing up to a 90 overall. How is that possible? Dude only has 79 speed. What's going on over here? Well, apparently he's getting a lot of boosts on stuff. All right. Middle linebacker, Andrew Harris, 86 overall, senior with 88 speed, but he's only 210 pounds, so he's basically a free safety playing middle linebacker. Outside linebacker, Bullard, same thing, 82 overall with 87 speed, but he's only 200 pounds. At cornerback, we're actually looking pretty good. We have a lot of depth here. 86, 83, 83, 83, 82. At free safety, Hawkins is technically 80 overall, which is better, but Hayward's a 79 overall, and the dude has 99 speed. Not gonna not start that at the free safety spot. Strong safety Zellwood's a 79 overall. And we have freshman kickers and punters. Here's a quick look at what I'm doing for recruiting this season. We got Kyle Hemphill. He's the number 2 ranked wide receiver in the country, and we are second on his board with 65 hours. University of Miami has a pretty good lead, but we're gonna keep going after him. We got the number 1 ranked running back. We are 4th on his board. And then we have pretty much just all 3-star and 4-star guys I'm gonna be going after. Trying to do it big this season and get these recruiting classes up in the top 10, maybe even number 1 in the country will be ideal. Gonna jump into the first game of the season against the Kansas Jayhawks. They are 81 overall, and we are up to 86 overall at this point. 3rd down and 2, we're blasting it right up the middle. We need to get this first down. First down, barely got it, but we got it. 3rd and 8, we have no choice but to throw the ball. Nice pass, nice catch. First down, pass defense like crazy. Could not get the first. Gonna have to kick a field goal. Let's see how hard this is gonna be. On Heisman difficulty. 14 mile an hour wind blowing back at us. To be able to get it. Ooh, barely, but we got it. We're on defense. We got 3rd down and 5. Probably gonna be passing it. Oh, they did a draw play. Couldn't do anything, but we got the stop. Yep, screw it. We're just gonna run it. Can we get in there for the tutty? Almost. And down at the 1-yard line. Let's go with our 6'1", 230-pound running back. Walks in untouched. We're up 10-zip. Jumping back in here to kick a field goal. We're up 10-0. Trying to go up 13-0. I don't know if we're gonna make it. Shanked it to the right. 3rd quarter, we're up 10-0. We got the ball 2nd and 7. We want a play action pass here. Dump it off to triangle. 3rd down and 3. 3rd down and manageable here. We got to get 3 yards. I'm just gonna run it. If we can't get this, we'll just kick the field goal, and we got blown up immediately. Time for another field goal. Maybe I can actually make it this time. Got the wind at our back. That one should be good. 4th quarter, 3 minutes left. We're up 13-7. We got the ball on the 3-yard line here. Oh, outran that blocker, or else we probably would have got about a 30-yard gain. Nice blocking. Got the first. Need to turn on shoot clock. Burn this clock down. 2-minute warning. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it go to the 2-minute warning. 1st and 10 with 2 minutes left in the 4th quarter. We just need to burn this clock and get this win. First win of the season. Oh, he fumbled the damn ball, but our guy got it back. Thank you. Whew, that was scary. 2nd down and 6 after a scary ass fumble. And they know the run is coming, and they're blitzing like crazy. 3rd and 5, they called a timeout. 3rd down and 5, I'm just gonna run it and put it in the hands of the defense if we can't get the first. Damn, I just had like no speed on that one. No blocking either. Not good. We got good coverage. He should call for a fair catch. Yep. They need a touchdown. Got the sack. Nice. 2nd and 15. And that was my guy. I thought he was gonna cut all the way across, but he just stopped. 3rd and 5. Go cover 2 man. We got the running back with the middle linebacker here, man coverage. Ooh, nice little pass breakup. 4th down. They're obviously gonna go for it. Go cover 1 man. One's gonna be the user in the middle linebacker here in the zone. Damn it. They got a first down. Let's try blitzing them. Screw it. But with this guy, I'm not gonna blitz. I'm actually gonna cover the middle linebacker. And we had 2 guys on him, but still walked in for a touchdown. Defense was terrible. Fourth quarter, we're down about 1.46 seconds left. All we got to do is get into field goal range, man. That's all we got to do. Just gonna run it. Probably should have just went out of bounds like an idiot. I'm gonna call a timeout. 2nd and 6. Gonna run it again. No. And I have no choice but to call a timeout. I just can't let that time just keep blocking down like that, ticking down. I'm going to square deep. He dropped it. Come on, man. Did we get it? No, we didn't. Come on, really? Can we challenge it? Can we challenge? Yes, let's challenge. Ooh, come on. Did we get the first? Damn, we didn't get it. And we're gonna lose the first game of the season to Kansas by 1 damn point. Terrible start. Looking at the stats from that game, quarterback Jakari Brown had a 127 rating, only 100 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions, and he had 61% completion, only had 13 pass attempts, 8 of them completed. Rushing, the freshman running back Lonzo Underwood, 20 carries, only 65 yards, 3.3 per carry is not good. Did have 1 touchdown. He fumbled the ball once, had 2 broken tackles. Did bust off for a 22-yard run at one point. Basically no receiving going on here. Defensively, Jamal Johnson had 1 sack, no interception. We're almost halfway through the season, and Traquan Fagans just got Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week with 3 interceptions in 1 freaking game. At this point, we are 3-2 on the year. We lost to UMass 16-10. We beat Northwest 45-3. We beat Colorado 21-17, and we just beat Houston in a shootout 49-35. Let's look at the stats in this game real quick. It looks like Houston's quarterback threw 3 interceptions. Nice. Jakari Brown, 192 rating, 339 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions, 79% completion. That's a great game by him for sure. The freshman running back Underwood, 19 carries, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then the quarterback Jakari, 6 carries, 44 yards, and a tutty. Receiving, Kylan Fox, 6 for 108, 2 touchdowns. Where's Massey? All right, Alex Massey. He is the redshirt freshman that was a 5-star recruit. 6 catches, 95 yards, no touchdowns. Defensively, Bullard had the most tackles with 7. Any sacks over here? John Walker had 1. Interceptions, we saw Traquan Fagans had won the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week with 3 interceptions in 1 damn game. We're in week 6 and we have not had anybody commit yet, but we did just lose out on Marcus Coco, 4-star defensive end, going to Miami. And then I think there was someone else that went. Oh, there's other players locking us out. I thought there was someone that committed somewhere else. But all right, that's good then. I'm gonna go through here and get these points lined up. Hopefully we start getting some commits soon. We finally got our first commit of the season. It's gonna be 4-star quarterback Carlos Biadarria from Manville, Texas. Taking a closer look at Carlos Biadarria, the 4-star quarterback. He has 91 speed as a scrambling quarterback with 91 throw power, 92 acceleration. His accuracies are looking pretty good too. His short accuracy is 83, medium is 81, throw on the run is 81, break sack is 84. Dude is 6'3", 218 pounds, and he has a road dog mentality. We just got a big win. We got Alex Massey, the 5-star redshirt freshman wide receiver, winning Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week against Oklahoma State. 6 catches, 152 yards, and 3 tutties. That's like Randy Moss type stuff right there. We're currently 5-2 on the season. We just beat Oklahoma State 28-22 in that game that Massey went off crazy in. Looking at the stats here. Jakari Brown, 195 yards passing, 240 yards, 3 touchdowns, all to Massey, 0 interceptions, 65% completion. The redshirt freshman running back Lonzo Underwood, 20 carries, 114 yards, 5.7 per carry. That's pretty good. And he had 2 carries over 20 yards. Massey had that crazy game. What about defense? Anybody get any sacks? And no interception. Recruiting's taking a big hit following that win. We lost out on the 5-star wide receiver Kyle Hempel. He's going to Miami, so that's the second guy we lost to Miami. We lost out on this 4-star defensive end Jim going to Syracuse, and George Earl, 5-star Jim defensive end. I really wanted this guy going to Clemson. Anybody else decide to bail on us? This guy locked us out. All right, time to allocate these 355 hours. We get our second commitment of the season, 5-star center Rich Mayer from Bryant, Arkansas. We're in week 10 of the season. We are 6-3. We're still not ranked. We did lose to BYU 38-21, but we beat Baylor 27-19. A couple bad things happening in the recruiting process. We lost out on the 5-star running back KJ Jamison just barely to the Texas Longhorns. We also lost out on a 5-star defensive tackle Kevin Lennon-Cole to North Carolina State. We got a 4-star tight end Anthony Dickey from Jacksonville, Florida. We're in week 12 of the season. We are 7-3. We beat Arizona State 38-20. We're still not ranked at this point. Jakari Brown had 175 rating, 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions. Underwood 20 carries, 100 yards, 1 touchdown, and Brown also had a rushing touchdown. Alex Massey 3 catches, 60 yards, and 2 tutties. Defensively, Buller going crazy with 10 tackles. We got Falk with 1 sack, Nixon with a sack. And then we had 3 interceptions, Antoine Jackson, CC Zellwood, and then Traquan Fagans with another interception. Recruiting update, we just missed out on a 5-star defensive end named Prince Awesome with an awesome name. We finished 3rd on his board. He's going to Miami again. So Miami is officially our most hated enemy rivals. They keep stealing players from us in the same state. I'm currently 2nd on the board for this 4-star cornerback Terrell Elkins, and Miami is in 1st place, but we're gaining on them slowly. Hopefully we can take the lead because we're in the top 3 right now, so we're coming down to the final push, but it looks like we're gaining on them. I simulated to the next week, and we did lose the 4-star cornerback Terrell Elkins to Miami once again. We lost the game I simulated, and I don't know what the score was. I have to go look, but yeah, Miami just keeps on killing us on the recruiting in Florida. We got this 5-star middle linebacker. I've been number 1 on his board the entire time since the beginning of the season, and then look at Miami. They're swooping in at the last minute, trying to go ahead and steal them from us. We are not gonna lose TJ Leggett, the 5-star middle linebacker. You better not go to Miami, dude. We've been coming after you this whole time. You better not be like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go to Miami. I tried to schedule him for a visit, but he has no available visits anymore, or we don't have any more visits. I'm not sure how it works, but we can't get him in for a visit. But one thing I did do is I switched him over to hard sell, and we're actually grading pretty decent, and most of these we actually have an A- on one of them, so hopefully we can still get him, man. We just finished the last 2 games of the regular season. We finished 7-5 because we lost to TCU 37-14, and then we lost to Iowa State 34-24. And because we lost that last game of the season, we officially don't have a good enough grade on championship contender for this freaking middle linebacker 5-star TJ Leggett that we've been number 1 on his board the entire season from the very beginning. We're still number 1 on his board at the moment, but that means that Miami's just gonna go ahead and take him by default. Freaking hate Miami. We do get a 4-star running back Eric Muwamba from Vero Beach, Florida. One player that Miami couldn't steal from us. For the 3rd time in a row, we made it to the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, this time against San Diego State Aztecs, and those helmets look pretty nice for San Diego State, not gonna lie. As expected, Miami stole that 5-star middle linebacker TJ Leggett from us. Freaking a-holes. It is actually the early signing day, and look, Miami's number 1 class because they stole all of our best players, man. 35 freaking players, already maxed out how many they can get. They got 6 5-stars, 19 4-stars. Damn, where are we at on it? Where are we ranking? Probably pretty low at this moment. We are number 55 with 8 recruits. We got 1 5-star, 3 4-stars, and we got 4 3-stars. Looks like we're gonna end up getting a ton of 3-stars because I have to supplement the team needs with them. We did win the bowl game, and Traquan Fagans wins Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week. He had 1 interception, 5 tackles, and a touchdown, so I'm assuming that 1 interception was a pick 6. The score on the game against San Diego State was 45-24. We got the victory, as we saw. Their quarterback threw 2 interceptions. Let's see, Jakari Brown, 176 rating, 262 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, only a 55% completion. Underwood, 15 carries for 86 yards, no touchdowns. Receiving, man, Massey went crazy. Look at this. He's putting up crazy numbers. 5 for 158 with 3 touchdowns, average of 31. The longest was 50. Defensively, Fagans, the cornerback, had the most tackles with 8. Interception or sacks, Nixon had 3. Damn. Marcus Downs had 1. Fagans and Bullard both had interceptions. With that, it's time to look at the season stats. Jakari Brown, the 5th-year senior, his last year as a starter for us, 2,900 yards passing, 25 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions, 64% completion with the 154 rating. Not bad season at all. When you factor in his rushing, he had 600 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns, 4.8 per carry is pretty decent. The redshirt freshman running back Underwood, almost 200 carries, just over 1,000 yards, 5.2 per carry with 14 touchdowns. Love to see that. Don't like seeing 3 fumbles though, not good. Receiving, Massey, the freshman redshirt, 59 catches, 1,100 yards, almost 20 yards per catch, 15 touchdowns, and dude went crazy. He should have won freshman All-American or something. Middle linebacker Andrew Harris had the most tackles on the team with 95. I think he has like 88 speed, but he's basically a safety playing linebacker because he's only 210 pounds. Tackles for loss, Johnson had 7. Most sacks on the team, Nixon with 4, but didn't he have 3 in the last game? Not good. Interceptions, Fagans went crazy. He's a redshirt senior. He's only 83 overall, so unfortunately, I don't expect him to get drafted. Probably working an office job or something, whatever you got a degree in. 6 interceptions. Bullard had 2, Harris had 2, Jackson had 2. These are all seniors that aren't going to be here next year. Even Zellwood. So literally everyone on our defense that got interceptions is gone after this season. We do get another 4-star recruit though. Free safety Badara Shimbo from Amarillo, Texas. Looking at our coach contract right now, so far 3 years in our 5-year deal. We've been pretty consistent. 9 wins our first year, 7 wins last year. Now we're back up to 8 wins. We're going to have a whole new starting secondary, basically. At least everyone that got interceptions. We're going to have a new starting quarterback. We have a lot of young guys that are making an impact right away as redshirt freshmen. So I expect the last 2 to 3 years, however many we end up doing, it's going to be going pretty well, depending on what happens at quarterback. We did have one player that wanted to transfer out, and it's a running back. Glenn Core, he's a freshman, but I did get him to stay. I was able to persuade him to stay is what I was trying to say. But we're losing a lot of guys here. We have middle linebacker gone, best cornerback gone, best tight end. He's been there all 3 years so far. He's been our starter. He's 86. He's gone. I guess none of these guys are projected to be drafted because it's not showing it. Jakari Henderson, our best corner, gone. Defensive end gone. Jakari Brown, our starting quarterback, is gone. Another Raekwon Fagans had a crazy season, but like I said, he's not going to be getting drafted. Pretty much most of our defense here is getting graduated and gone. Surprisingly, we actually had one player get drafted, and it's cornerback Antoine Jackson. He was at 86 overall. He got drafted in the 7th round. Looking at the transfer portal, we only have one 4-star that's even interested in coming here, and it is a left tackle. We don't necessarily need left tackle, but we are 2nd on his board, and number 1 is Miami. I'm going to try to steal this guy from Miami because screw them. How do you say his name? Christensen St. Jean. We did end up getting the 4-star left tackle Christensen St. Jean from Orlando, Florida, stealing him from Miami. National Signing Day, we finished with the 27th ranked class in the country, 24 total commits. I wasn't just trying to recruit a whole bunch of random dudes like I've been doing the last few times. I was actually scouting most of the guys and trying to get good guys. We got 1 5-star, 5 4-stars, 16 3-stars, and 2 2-stars. Time to look at the development traits. We got impact on this 4-star, elite on this 5-star athlete who looks like he's going to be a lineman, 300 pounds. Star dev, star impact. I see like star or elite. That's what I'm looking for. Here's elite on a 3-star power rusher, potential defensive tackle or defensive end. Looks like we got a ton of normals here. There's an impact, elite. Oh, this guy went to Cincinnati. Get out of here. Elite on this 3-star athlete. Says he's possession tight end. Once I went through and filled all my team needs in recruiting, or there was no more 3-stars available for the positions I needed, I decided I wanted to try out getting athletes. So I recruited or scouted a bunch of athletes and found ones that were either gems or they had high speed and they could potentially play different positions. So that's why I have 6 athletes. I'm going to go through here and figure out what positions they're going to play. We're officially in a new era for UCF. We got a true freshman quarterback starting, Carlos Barria. He was only a 4-star, but he's already playing up to a 78 overall. Dude has 91 speed, 92 acceleration, 91 agility, 90 change of direction. He has 91 throw power, which is better than Trujillo, however you say his name. Only has 88. He was the other option to start at an 81 overall as a junior, but they have comparable in their accuracies. Short accuracies, both 85. Medium accuracy, Barria is better. Deep accuracy, Barria is not as good. Throw on the runs, 85. So yeah, I'm going with the true freshman right off the rip. I think he has impact dev trait, which is not terrible. At running back, Underwood is all the way up to an 89 overall. He was a freshman last year. I think he was only like an 81, but he's got 94 speed, power back, 231 pounds. He has a ton of physical and mental abilities. At wide receiver, I mean, the whole team is just developing nicely. We got 89 overall, Bridgewater. Stokes is 85. Massey, the 5-star wide receiver we got in the first year. He's technically a junior, but he's a redshirt sophomore going into his 2nd season. He's up to 85. I thought that he might develop faster since he had a crazy season, but no. Marquez Johnson, 84. Dude has 99 speed as a sophomore. At tight end, we have 90 overall, Donovan Lockett, but he's a blocker. He only has 74 speed. Left tackle, 87 overall. Left guard, 91 overall, junior. At center, 87 overall, 50-year senior. Right guard, 87 junior. At right tackle, we have Christensen St. Jean. He's that tackle that we stole in the transfer portal from the University of Miami, bitch asses. Defensive end, we got 86 David Thrash. At right end, 85 Isaiah Nixon. I think it's crazy that Isaiah Nixon is a speed rushing defensive end when the dude is only 215 pounds. I don't see how he could ever get off a block ever, but it's a video game. Defensive tackle is a position that I'm very excited about. We got Marcus Downs, who is a redshirt junior, 88 overall, but we have a freshman redshirt, Jason Bauer, 84 overall, and then a true freshman, Rich Mayer, 81 overall. I'm gonna go ahead and let him play. I'm not gonna redshirt him. Outside linebacker, 90 overall. Middle linebacker, 79 overall. Right outside linebacker, 84 overall. Was there something I wanted to say at middle linebacker? Oh, okay. I was considering having Javon Robbins start over Cookus, but they're basically really similar guys, so I just went ahead and left Cookus to start. At cornerback, we have 99 speed, Payson Johnson. He's an 86 overall. 86 overall, 85 overall, 84 overall. So our secondary is looking pretty decent. At free safety, we still have Jalen Hayward, 85 overall. Dude has 99 speed. At strong safety is probably one of our weakest defensive backfield because he only has 86 speed, but he's a run support guy. 82 overall. Do have a guy developing underneath him, Zeke Eziudu. 77 overall as a redshirt freshman with 88 speed, so he's a little bit faster and he's comparable, but we're gonna go ahead and let Patterson play his senior year. Here's a quick look at the recruits that I'm going after. We got a bunch of 5-star guys. We got a left tackle 5-star, a center 5-star, defensive end, another defensive end. I have all these guys 100% scouted too because I'm trying to go after real good players, except for this center. I guess I didn't scout him, but he's still a 5-star, should be good. We have a couple of 4-star guys here. These cornerbacks, they got 97 speed. This guy has 84 zone coverage. Man coverage is only 75. Another 4-star cornerback, 97 speed once again. 81 zone coverage. His man is only 70, which is not ideal. But if we do get him, we'll probably redshirt him anyways. And then we just have a 4-star athlete because I had 15 points left and I just threw him on him because we were already first on his board. So we don't know what he is. We don't have him scouted. Simulated to the next week, we are in first place on pretty much everyone except for a couple of guys like this 5-star left tackle Griggs. We're in third place, but we gained a lot. So I expect us to be in first after another week or two. First on all these other guys. We're second on this outside linebacker. Georgia has a pretty good lead, but I'm going to keep riding it out. First on everyone else. We got a huge gain on this cornerback. Quentin Benedict for your second place, but we got a big game, so I expect us to be in first after this week. Quick look at the schedule. The first 5 games are pretty loaded. Our first game is at number 7 North Carolina, and then we have the Louisiana Raging Cajuns. Then we have 3 ranked opponents in a row. Number 13 Iowa State playing at their stadium. Number 1 Alabama coming to our stadium, and then at number 24 Arizona. Baylor, Utah, Texas Tech, Kansas State, Colorado, West Virginia, and ending the season with number 9 Cincinnati. Who knows if they'll still be ranked by then. I simulated the first game against North Carolina and we beat them 45-24 with the true freshman quarterback starting. Let's look at the stats and see how he did. Their quarterback for North Carolina threw 2 interceptions. Our true freshman quarterback had a 173 rating. That's awesome. 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Got sacked 3 times, had 64% completion. Our running back, Lonzo Underwood's developing nicely. 10 carries, 100 yards, 1 touchdown. 3 broken tackles, had a 44-yarder. Did our quarterback have any rushing yards? 6 for 20 with 1 broken tackle. Receiving, Alex Massey, 4 catches, 128 yards with 2 touchdowns, 75-yard bomb. Not liking that he has 2 drops. Bridgewater had a drop, Stokes had a drop, but Stokes did have 7 catches, 40 yards, 2 tutties. See what the defense did. Byron Worrell had the most tackles with 9. Anybody have tackles for loss? Marcus Downs had 2, and Rich Mayer, the true freshman defensive tackle, had 1. Sacks, David Thrash had 1, and Jason Bauer had 1. Interceptions, Kason Johnson had 1, and Jalen Hayward, the safety, had 1. Sometimes the simulation in this game doesn't make sense. We just beat a ranked North Carolina, but then we lose to the Louisiana Raging Cajuns 18-10. Not happy about it. Take a closer look at the stats. Our quarterback, all right, he has a true freshman back to ground zero game or back to earth game. 144 rating, 207 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 59% completion. Rushing, Underwood still had a good game, 12 carries for 99 yards. He did have a 38-yard run, 2 of them for over 20. Receiving, Massey had 2 for 90 with 1 touchdown and a 76-yard bomb. Good to see. Defensively, I'm assuming we had a ton of tackles. Yeah. Worrell had 9, Cookus had 8. A couple of guys had sacks or tackles for loss. We had 1 sack by David Thrash. No interception. Losing the game did not mess with the recruiting at all, as we are actually in first place on literally every single person. Looking pretty good on most of them. We just passed up Georgia on Stephen Griffin, the 5-star outside linebacker. And we are in first place on Devin the Stoner. Devin the Dude Stoner out here playing college football. We beat Iowa State 31-17, but we unfortunately lost to number 2 Alabama 31-24. Our freshman quarterback Carlos Barria had a 152 rating, 259 yards, 2 touchdowns, did have 2 interceptions, got sacked 3 times, 74% completion is pretty high. Underwood, 13 carries, 61 yards, 1 touchdown. Probably should have given the ball a little bit more, but I guess if you're playing from behind, you have to throw it a lot. Let's see, Marquez Johnson, 6 for 43 with the touchdown, and then Kylan Fox had a touchdown. Defensively, Worrell had the most tackles once again. Downs had 1 sack and no interceptions. We get our first commitment for the season, middle linebacker Tyquan Hillhouse, 4-star from Evans, Georgia. We defeat Arizona, who was ranked, I think, 24. We beat them 38-28. They're no longer ranked. The freshman quarterback, 175 rating, 298 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 76% completion percentage is pretty good. Underwood, 16 for 60 with 2 touchdowns. Wide receiver had a rushing touchdown. Receiving, Stokes had 100 yards with a touchdown, and Massey had 2 for 46 with the touchdown. Defensively, we had 2 guys with 6 tackles. Sacks, David Thrash had 2, Mayer had 2. Dang, we had a lot of sacks here. A couple guys had half a sack, and we had 2 interceptions. We got our first 5-star of the season. It is defensive end Mateo Polaris from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We got another 5-star. It is center Cortez Tanyan from Bountiful, Utah. Never heard of that before, Bountiful, Utah. Right after that, we got another 5-star defensive end Nick Foley from Orlando, Florida. Wonder if he's related to Mankind from wrestling. And we get yet another 5-star outside linebacker Devin the Dude Stoner from Buffalo, Minnesota. And another 5-star cornerback, Quentin Benedict from Aurora, Illinois. How many are we going to get? Another one? Nah, that's it. Getting all these 5-star recruits in the last 2 weeks despite losing to Baylor 38-30 and getting blown out by Utah 30-7. Berea had his worst game of his career so far with only a 100 rating, 100 yards passing, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, 63% completion. Underwood 11 carries, 79 yards and 1 touchdown, but the quarterback Berea had 10 carries for only 29 yards. That's terrible. Receiving, Massey 3 for 41. Defensively, Jason Johnson had 10 tackles at, isn't he a cornerback? Yeah, cornerback leading the team in tackles. We had 4 guys with tackles for loss. Sacks, Moffitt had 1, and then 2 guys had half a sack. And Chasen Johnson, not Jason, had an interception. Dude had 10 tackles and an interception. He had a pretty good game. We got another 5-star outside linebacker, Steven Griffin from Homestead, Florida. I'm not sure how many 5-stars that is, but that's a shit ton so far. We're at week 10 right now, and the season is just not going well. We're only 3-5 so far, and we just lost to Texas Tech 42-30. They are ranked number 7. So they're definitely a tough opponent. We'll look at the stats. Then their quarterback, the senior Will Hammond, had a game 237 rating. Crazy. And Berea, our quarterback, true freshman, had a game too. A 211 rating, 335 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, 80% completion. That's insane. Underwood, 15 carries, 48 yards, only 3.2 per carry. Not that great. Marcus Johnson, however you want to say it, had 5 catches, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns. Stokes 4 for 67. Donovan Lockett, the tight end, 4 for 53 with the touchdown. Alex Massey 4 for 49 with the touchdown. Defensively, Hayward, the free safety, had the most sacks. A couple guys with tackles for a loss. Only had 1 sack. Isaiah Nixon at defensive end, and Amir Foster, the redshirt senior cornerback, had 1 interception. Man, we just barely missed out on this 5-star left tackle, Tyler Griggs, Ohio State. I was in the lead last week, but with the 2 losses that we got in a row, he decided he wanted to go to Ohio State. That sucks. It's the end of the regular season, and as you can see, we lost 3 out of the last 5 games. We beat Kansas State 35-10, but we lost to Colorado, who's ranked number 3 now, 33-6. We lost to West Virginia 42-20, and we actually won our last game of the season against number 11 Cincinnati 48-46 in a shootout. We finished the season 5-7. Probably not going to a bowl game. I think you have to be at least 6-6 to be bowl eligible. Let's look at the stats in this last game. Berea, the true freshman, in his last start as a freshman, a 155 rating, 240 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 58% completion. Not bad game all overall. The running back, Lonzo Underwood, 16 carries, 102 yards, 1 touchdown. Receiving, Kason Stokes, 7 for 99 and a tutty. Alex Massey, 3 for 59 and a tutty. Bridgewater had 1 touchdown. Defensively, Frank Cookus, the middle linebacker, had 11 tackles. That's a lot. Sacks, Thrash is the only one that had 1, and we had no interceptions. Since the season is completely over, let's look at the stats for the year. Our freshman quarterback had 3,000 yards passing, 27 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. That's a pretty high on interceptions there. 64% completion is not terrible with a 155 rating. Rushing, Underwood had 164 carries, 869 yards with 9 touchdowns, 5.3 per carry. Our quarterback, he only averaged 3 yards per carry on 100 attempts with 1 touchdown. That's not good at all. Receiving, Massey only had 49 catches, but he had 940 yards, averaging just over 19 yards per catch with 9 touchdowns. Pretty good season from him. Stokes, 600 yards, 6 touchdowns. Johnson had 400 yards with 7 touchdowns. Our tight end had almost 400 yards with 2 touchdowns. Defensively, Worrell led the team in tackles with 76. Cookus had the second most with 68. Tackles for loss, Marcus Downs had 8. And our true freshman defensive tackle, Rich Mayer, had 6. Sacks, Mayer, the true freshman defensive tackle, dude had 6.5 sacks leading the team. Thrash had 6, Downs had 4.5, and Nixon had 3.5. Interceptions, Chasen Johnson, I don't know why I always struggle to say his name. Chasen Johnson had 3 interceptions. Jalen Hayward with 2. Worrell had 1 along with Cookus, Kona Lou, Foster, and Peterson. We're at early national signing day. We only have 13 players so far, but we are 4th in the nation in recruiting class, and we're not even ranked. Everyone else in the top 6 are ranked. We only have 13 players. We got 9 5-stars, which is the most by almost double what Georgia has. So yeah, we're blowing them out on the 5-stars. Looking at the 2027 college football playoff bracket, Colorado beat USC in the championship game 41-35. They went 14-3, and they are the national champs. I think I'm going to change my playbook to Colorado's playbook since they won the championship. Never done that before in a rebuild video. Been running the Nebraska offense in simulation, and we have not been doing well. Granted, we have not had a good quarterback. Hopefully we can find like a good junior or sophomore transfer quarterback in the portal that's interested in the team. So far we had basically no quarterbacks interested in the team, but this is going to be the last year of the rebuild, year number 5. Looking at players leaving, and we have 4 guys that want to transfer out. I was able to get all of them to stay except for our true freshman quarterback, Carlos Barria. He decided he wanted to leave because of pro potential. The deal breaker, he wants the score to be, or the grade to be B-, and we only have a D. So we're gonna have to get us a new quarterback for sure, because I was hoping that he was gonna develop and be a good sophomore in the last year, or try to get one in the transfer portal. But either way, we got to get us a new quarterback. The freshman defensive tackle, Rich Mary, he wanted to transfer, and it said we had a very low chance to persuade him, but he decided to stay. As far as the players that are graduating, we're losing our starting center, and then we have a cornerback that was a starter that's leaving, defensive end that was a starter, another starting corner that's gone, our starting right tackle, Christensen St. Jean, that we got in the transfer portal last year. Kevin Call, it looks like he was probably a backup defensive end, and then a backup safety, Devon Patterson. Looking at the draft results, as you can see, there's no data because we had no players getting drafted. Looking at the transfer portal, we actually have 3 quarterbacks that are interested in coming to the team. I'm definitely not interested in a 2-star guy, but we have 2 3-stars here. This is a freshman and then a sophomore. I'm going to add them both to the board and then go scout them and see what they're looking like. We only have 1 4-star transfer that's interested in coming to us, and we are 5th on his board, I believe. Yeah, he is a free safety junior coming from Ball State. That's crazy. He's a run support, but he's a small guy, 5'11", 176. I'm going to go ahead and look at him too. But honestly, that's not run support to me. A run support's like basically a little linebacker, like 6 foot at least, and probably like 200 pounds or maybe 210, 215. I just scouted that 4-star free safety that wants to transfer to us, and his speed is only 85 and he's 5'11", 176. Not interested. I got the 2 transfer quarterbacks scouted. This guy looks like he's the worst of them. He's a scrambler, but his speed is only 78 and his accuracies are all exactly 80 or below. This other guy's a freshman. He has 88 speed, 96 throw power, and he has 86 short accuracy, 81 medium, 81 throw on the run. I'm definitely going to go after him. I'm going to remove this other guy, James Kearns. Peace. We actually still have a chance to get another 5-star defensive tackle, Joshua Vaccaro. I was going after him since the very beginning of the season, but his deal breaker is championship contender, and our grade kept dropping below a B-, which he required because we kept losing games. But then we would win one and it would jump back up to above what he needed. So I would be able to recruit him for like 1 week, and then we drop below for 2 weeks, and then I would be able to recruit him for 1 week, add points, and then it just kept on going back and forth. And finally we finished the season with the B championship contender somehow. I have no idea how, because we had the worst season yet. So we are 2nd on his board. I'm going all in on him. I'm hard selling him, and I'm also scheduling a visit to see if we can surpass Notre Dame and get our 10th 5-star of the season. Unfortunately, we lost out on the 5-star defensive tackle Joshua Vaccaro to Notre freaking Dame. It is National Signing Day. We finished with the #1 class in the country. We got 26 total players, 9 5-stars, 4 4-stars, and 13 3-stars. We had to go heavy on the 3-stars because we got so many 5-stars that we were going after. We missed out on some 4-stars, but to me, that's perfectly fine. It's time to look at the development traits for the players that we got, and we got an elite guy here. Star, impact. I like the impacts and elite, or star and elite, not impact. Star 5-star corner, star power back, that's an athlete. Another star safety, star at running back, a 4-star, Elite running back, that's a 4-star. Elite is the best that you can get. We got a star run stopping athlete that says he's going to be a linebacker. At the end, I started going after athletes like crazy because you can change them to other positions and their overalls will go up a lot. Star for this guy, scrambling quarterback, 88 speed, 96 throw power. That's crazy. Impact. All right, well, we ended up getting that one quarterback. Was it this guy? Yeah, James Avery. That's the guy, the transfer actually. 88 speed, 96 throw power, and he has star depth. He's a freshman, so he could potentially be our starting quarterback depending on what his overall is looking like. He has a platinum headstrong mental ability, and he does have other abilities: magician, option king, and off platform. I'm doing position changes, and I actually did end up getting 11 athletes, so I'm gonna go through here and figure out what their position is best at. I'm not gonna show that on here, but whenever I come back, I will be showing y'all what the team is looking like now. All right, after all the off-season stuff, this is what our team is looking like for the final season. Starting quarterback is going to be Rasheem Amerson. He's a redshirt freshman. I went through and looked at all of them, and I think he's the best option. He's an 81 overall with all the boosts. Technically, Trujillo is the highest overall with 82. He's a redshirt senior, but I don't like the fact that he's kind of slow, 82 compared to 88 speed. And also, Amerson, the freshman, has 94 throw power. Trujillo only has 88. The quarterback we got in the transfer portal was James Avery. He's only a 79 overall with all the boosts, 88 speed and 96 throw power, but I don't want him to be the starter. We're gonna go with Amerson. The only thing that I don't like about Amerson is his throw under pressure is a 78 compared to Trujillo, whatever the hell you say his name, is a 90. But we're going with another freshman quarterback, technically a redshirt freshman, 81 overall. This is by far the best team that we've had in the rebuild in the 5th season. As you can see on the top, we have a 90 overall, 92 offense, 90 defense. Our running back Underwood has developed really good. He's up to 89. Our backup running back is going to be a redshirt freshman, Eric Muamba. He's already up to 86 overall as a freshman. At fullback, 88 overall. Wide receiver, Bridgewater, 93. Stokes is a 90. And I put Marquez Johnson in the number 3 spot because he has 99 speed over top of Massey, who was our first ever 5-star commitment recruit in the 1st season. He is a redshirt junior at this point. He's up to 87 overall. At tight end, we have a 90 overall, and our backup is 81 overall redshirt freshman. As you can see, the team is starting to get really good, and we have really good backups that are going to develop nicely. At left tackle, 89 overall. Left guard, 93. At center, 92. Right guard, 90. Right tackle, 86. By far the best offensive line we've had in the game, or in the rebuild. Left end, David Thrash, 87 overall. Right end, 81 overall. D tackle, 89 overall senior. And then Rich Mayer, he was a freshman last year, and he led the team in sacks. He's already up to 88 overall as a sophomore. He wanted to transfer out, but we were able to get him to come back. Outside linebacker, we have 86 overall. Middle linebacker, 82. Outside linebacker, 84. At cornerback, we have 2 fifth-year seniors that are 86 overall. Jason Johnson has 99 speed, 99 acceleration, 99 change of direction. Dude is a human joystick. Free safety, Jalen Hayward is a redshirt senior, so he's a 5th-year guy, 87 overall with 99 speed. And at strong safety, we're going with the redshirt freshman, 81 overall, 87 speed, but he's a run support guy, 5'11", 210 pounds. That is a run support safety for sure. Since it's the last season of the rebuild, I will not be doing any recruiting at all. And all the recruits that I just brought in the last season, I'm not redshirting anybody. I put all the best players available into the depth chart. Since it's the last season, we're going all out. Also, I did change the offensive playbook to the Colorado's playbook since they just won the national championship. So spread offense, we were running a pro style offense. Here's the schedule for the last season. We got to go against Akron, then FCS Northwest. So hopefully we can be 2-0 at this point. Iowa State, TCU, Arizona State, and then we got number 6 Colorado, Liberty, number 13 Cincinnati, number 25 Utah, Arizona, West Virginia, and close the season out against number 18 BYU. We were able to beat Akron 38-13, starting the season off with the win, which is very good to see. The redshirt freshman quarterback went crazy. 268 rating, 308 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 90% completion, 20 out of 22 attempts. Couldn't ask for a better start from the freshman. Underwood, 13 carries, 52 yards, 4 yards per carry. We're in the spread offense now, so it should be a lot more passing and not as much running. Marquez Johnson, the 99 speed dude, 2 catches, 85 yards, 1 touchdown, 65-yard bomb with that speed. Alex Massey, 5 for 84 with 2 touchdowns. Stokes had a touchdown. Defensively, Robbins with 8 tackles, sacks. Dang, look at this. Rich Mayer is going to be a beast by the time if he even lasts that long. He'll probably go to the draft right now. He had 2 sacks as a sophomore. Downs had 1 and Thrash had 1. And we had 2 interceptions. Kona Lou and Chasen Johnson, the redshirt senior cornerback. We just blew out the FCS Southwest or Southeast, whatever it is. I don't know what the score was, but we got Tavares Moffitt, defensive end, got the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week with 3 sacks, 4 tackles, and 2 tackles for loss. And wide receiver Alex Massey, he won Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week with 7 catches, 124 yards, and 3 tutties. And that's good enough for Alex Massey to be the National Offensive Player of the Week. Yeah, we went off in this Northwest game, FCS Northwest. We scored the most points ever in the video so far with 70 points, and we only gave up 7. Look at these stats. The freshman quarterback, 251 rating, 398 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, 79% completion. The freshman running back, the backup, got in 12 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown. Alex Massey, the freaking wide receiver, had 3 carries for 72 yards and a touchdown rushing. Underwood had 5 for 61 and 2 touchdowns. I guess that was like in the first quarter, and they're like, all right, let's go ahead and take him out. Receiving, we saw Alex Massey went crazy. Bridgewater, 4 for 112 with the touchdown. Johnson had a touchdown. Defensively, Cookus, 8 tackles. Sacks, Moffitt, we saw he had 3 sacks. Downs had 1.5. Mayer had another 1. Thrash had another 1. Interceptions, Lou with 1 and Robbins with 1. We're off to a great start. We're 4-0. We beat Iowa State 45-24, and then we beat TCU in a close game 43-41. The least points that we scored in this season so far is 38. We suffer our first loss of the season against Arizona State 31-21. We were ranked number 25, but now we're 4-1 and we're not ranked. We could bounce back here against number 17 Colorado, who is 3-2 after they just won the national championship. We can beat them. I don't see why we couldn't jump back into being ranked. And we did beat Colorado 31-24, and we are ranked again number 25 on the season. Let's look at the stats in this game real quick. Emerson had a 203 rating, 334 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 67% completion. Running back Underwood had 13 for 58, 1 touchdown, 4.5 per carry. Bridgewater had 5 catches, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's crazy with a 75-yard bomb. Richardson had 4 for 77 with the touchdown. Alex Massey, 4 for 65. Defensively, Cookus had 10 tackles. Mayer had another sack. Seems like he gets a sack in every game. Moffitt had 1 and Downs had 1. So our defensive line is just nasty. Interceptions, Hayward had 1. Since our last check-in, we have won 2 games in a row. We beat Liberty 28-21 and Cincinnati 35-24. So technically that's 3 wins in a row. And we are ranked number 12, 7-1 on the season, first in the Big 12 conference. We just got another win against Utah. And Lonzo Underwood, the running back, is the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week. He only had 12 carries for 92 yards, but he had 5 rushing touchdowns. That better be Offensive Player of the Week for the entire nation, and yes it is. National Offensive Player of the Week, Lonzo Underwood. Yes sir. We beat Utah 52-42 in a shootout, pretty close game, and then we lose to Arizona 31-26. We were ranked number 7 when we were 8-1. After suffering this loss, we're 8-2 and we're ranked number 14, still in the top 15. It's the end of the regular season. We finished 10-12, 6th in the country, and we made it to the Big 12 championship against number 10 Baylor. So we beat West Virginia in a very close game, 28-27 by 1 point. Beat BYU 38-24. Baylor is 9-3, going against them in the conference championship game. We did beat Baylor in the Big 12 championship. I don't know what the score is, but we got this banner and I wanted to show it. Congratulations. The final score in the Baylor game was 27-14. We're 11-2 on the season and we're ranked number 4 in the entire country. Definitely the highest we've been rated in the entire rebuild. Emerson had a 183 rating, 302 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 80% completion in his first ever conference championship game. Didn't really have much going on for the running game, but we didn't need it. Bradell Richardson had 8 catches, 155 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Bridgewater had 94. Massey only had 1 for 13. Defensively, Robbins and Shimbo both had 6 tackles, most on the team, and Mayer and Marquez Balo, they each had half a sack. No interceptions. This is weird right here. The 2028 Heisman Trophy winner is a sophomore wide receiver from Miami. He had 52 catches, 805 yards, and 12 touchdowns. I need to go see what his stats are because he must have done some other stuff because I don't see that winning Heisman. I found the wide receiver from Miami that won the Heisman. We saw that he had 52 catches, 805 yards, 12 touchdowns. So I thought maybe he would have like some passing yards. Nope, he has rushing yards, 22 carries, 239 yards with 6 touchdowns, and that's it. Did not have any defensive stats. He did not do any kick returns or punt returns, so that's probably got to be like the softest ever Heisman Trophy winner in my opinion. We made it to the college football playoffs. We're going to be going against number 10 Wisconsin in the All-State Sugar Bowl. Looking at the 2028 college football playoff bracket, Wisconsin beat UCLA in a close game 21-14. Wisconsin's 9-4. Miami is number 1 in the country. They're 13-0. Who's number 2? Nebraska is 12-1. North Carolina is 12-2. Everybody that's made it this far has won at least 10 games. Washington's 10-3. Everyone else has won at least 11 games. I wanted to see what Wisconsin's overall was. They're number 10 in the country, but they're only 86 overall with 86 defense and offense. And we are a 90 overall with 91 offense, 90 defense. I'm not going to play this game. I just wanted to see what the ratings were. Unfortunately, Wisconsin knocked us off 26-14. We lose in the freaking playoffs. Emerson did not have a great game. 127 rating, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Got sacked 3 times. Dude only completed 8 passes on 20 attempts for 40% completion. The lights were just too bright for the guy. Underwood had 13 for 71. Not bad at all. Receiving, Bridgewater had a good game. 4 catches, 119 yards with 2 touchdowns. Everyone else didn't do anything. Defensively, Kona Lou had 11 tackles. Cookus and Thrash both had 2 tackles for loss. And Rich Mayer, that defensive tackle, I'm telling you, he had 1 sack. Ames had a sack. Interceptions, Cookus and Kona Lou with another interception. It seems like we were saying Kona Lou with an interception a lot. Since the season is officially over, it's time to look at the season stats. The redshirt freshman quarterback, he actually had a really good season. Rasheem Emerson, 3,600 yards, 36 touchdowns, only 9 interceptions, 65% completion with a 176 rating compared to our freshman quarterback's rating last season when we had a down year. It was only a 155 if I remember correctly. Rushing, Underwood had his best season yet, I think. 167 carries, 1,191 yards, 7.1 per carry with 19 rushing touchdowns. Let me look at his player card real quick because he's been the starting running back. I think this is his 3rd season in a row. Yeah, his first season, almost 200 carries for 1,000 yards, 14 touchdowns. Last season, not really a whole lot going on. I mean, he still had a great season, but he didn't get as many opportunities. But I guess even this year, he only had 3 more carries, but he averaged way more, and he had 19 touchdowns. Doesn't really do much in the receiving game, though. Receiving, Bridgewater had 60 catches, 1,100 yards, 18 yards per catch with 11 touchdowns. Richardson had almost 50 catches, 760 yards, 7 touchdowns. Massey, 32 for 659 and 12 touchdowns. Stokes had 53 for 654 and 3 touchdowns. Tight ends didn't really do much at all. Defensively, Robbins had the most tackles with 96. Cookus had 89. Tackles for loss, Thrash and Downs both had 10. Sacks, David Thrash had the most with 10.5. Mayer had 8. Downs had 7 and Moffitt had 6.5. And the dude had 3 sacks in 1 game, so he only had 3.5 sacks on the other. How many games did we play? Like 13 games, 14 games. Interceptions, Konalu with 4 led the team. I expected that. Johnson had 3. Robbins, Cookus, Hayward, and Peterson had 2, and then Alfonso Fox had 1 interception. Looking at the 2028 college football playoff bracket, once again, we lost to Wisconsin, and then Nebraska knocks Wisconsin off 26-21, and then Nebraska plays Miami in the national championship, and they win 28-20. Funny because I've been running the Nebraska playbook this entire time, and then we switched to Colorado because they just won the championship. And then boom, Nebraska's like, oh yeah, look at our playbook. We were gonna win a championship going 15-1. We do have 4 players that are graduating that are going to the draft potentially. Bridgewater, wide receiver, he's a 93. He's projected to go in the 1st round. Right guard, Deshaun Gaskin, he's a 90, projected to go in the 4th round. Defensive tackle Marcus Downs, 89 overall. He's a 2nd round pick projected. And then wide receiver Kason Stokes, 89 overall, projected to go in the 6th round. And we do end up with 5 players getting drafted. Bridgewater went in the 1st round, the wide receiver. Defensive tackle Marcus Downs goes in the 2nd round. Right guard Deshaun Gaskin goes in the 3rd round. Wide receiver Kason Stokes in the 5th round. And then left guard Walt Claire Flynn, that's a hell of a name, goes to in the 6th round. Looking back on what we did in our 5 years here, as you can see, we just got a contract extended, so it looks like we just started. But in 2023, they went 6-7. Our first year as a head coach. In 2024, we went 9-4, went to the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. In 2025, we went 7-6, went to the same bowl game. 2026, we went 8-5 and went to the same bowl game for the 3rd year in a row. In our 4th season, it was our worst year. We went 5-7. We had a true freshman starting at quarterback. We had a lot of players that left, so we had a lot of new guys starting. In 2028, we really saw the fruits of our labor. We started a freshman quarterback. He was a redshirt, and he actually had a great season. The team overall was the highest so far in the video, which makes sense because we're 5 years in, so it's pretty much all recruits that we went after. And we went 11-3. We won the Big 12, made it to the college football playoffs, and got knocked off in the 1st year. That's going to be it for the video. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, comment down below what other teams you want to see me rebuild, and you might see your name in a future video. Also, this is the first video of me with the webcam. Hopefully y'all like what y'all see. If not, then screw you. Nah, I'm just kidding. But appreciate y'all for watching. See y'all in the next one. Peace.